Welcome back, viewers. You are still tuned into Prime Live. We are on your screens, DSTV channel 345, as well as Ramadan TV in the United Kingdom. I'm super excited to welcome an inspiring guest. Today is a Motivation Monday, and I hope that our next conversation will continue to motivate you. We are going to be joined by Aisha Laher, who pens under the pseudonym Lead In Lady. Now, we're here to talk about her latest book called Bamba Butterfly. And this incredible book takes you exploring themes regarding love, loss, abuse, as well as resilience. So do stay tuned for our insightful conversation about this incredible novel and the amazing author behind it. Assalamu alaikum, Aisha. Thank you so much for joining us on Prime Live.
Walaikum salam. Thank you so much for having me.
It's such a privilege to have you and to have you talk about this incredible novel. Now, the novel has been incredibly successful. It has been incredibly moving as well. Can you talk to us a little bit about what is the inspiration behind the novel? Where did the inspiration come from?
Absolutely. So, Bamba Butterfly is based off a true life story. And the story had been told to me in segments over a great number of years. And when I listened to the story and became truly receptive to it, I was obviously deeply moved by the themes of resilience and hope. But I also felt that I needed to take on the responsibility of sharing the difficulties experienced by this couple in a way that would address social ills and get people to become more aware of what people are subject to behind closed doors at times. So it really was a huge responsibility, and I'm so glad that I've been able to see it through.
Thank you for sharing that. I think the themes that you've chosen to cover in this novel are incredibly relatable, and I think that contributes as well to the success of the novel thereof. I think it's incredible that you were able to explore these different themes as they may relate to more than one person who might be reading it, whether they are also in a relationship facing similar struggles and difficulties, or whether you're not and you're facing difficulties and struggles in different ways as well. But let's also talk about those main characters being Salma and Imtiaz. And as you mentioned before, they face incredible difficulty, and incredible difficulty comes with a lot of cost. Can you talk to us about what you hope readers will learn from their journeys, and what you hope readers' biggest takeaway will be from these two characters?
Absolutely. So I think in writing the book, I was incredibly humbled by their journeys, because it's so easy in day-to-day life to sort of lose track of what's truly important. And we don't often realize that everyone is dealing with some form of difficulty which isn't always apparent. And what I would like readers to take home with them is the power of the human mind and of human condition, that we are incredibly resilient as a species, and that we are able to handle with great care sometimes the circumstances that are thrown at us or that surround us. And that is essentially what I would like readers to take away.
And that is an incredibly powerful message as well. This is the power and, of course, the importance of storytelling as well. So I really admire, your ability to bring these characters to life, these characters that will, of course, touch viewers and readers alike, and also be able to, convey these important and strong themes that I believe a lot of readers will be able to relate to. But I want to talk about the fact that your novel is not just based across a South African platform, but it moves across South Africa to Zimbabwe as well. Do these locations hold any personal relevance to you?
So I had to be very deliberate when selecting locations for the book. Obviously, because it was based on a true story, I needed to protect the family involved. And where South Africa would have been a commonality across the true life, the true life story and the book, I selected Zimbabwe not because I had a specific link to it, but because it had, the relevant socio and economic backdrop that I required, and that very closely mimicked the actual country in which the story took place.
Now, what I want to talk to you about this evening as well is that storytelling is not exactly an easy task at all. And there might be someone in our audience or in our viewership this evening who is listening in on our conversation and is in absolute admiration of your journey and, of course, the ability that you have had to bring these characters to life. Now, we are on a Monday, and Mondays are all about motivating our viewers at home and leaving them feeling these conversations, feeling inspired. Can you leave some words of wisdom or advice for anyone in our audience this evening who is an aspiring author but hasn't as yet taken that brave step to writing those words out or actually, pursuing writing a book?
I'm going to use myself as an example. I'd actually written the manuscript in 2019, and I was very concerned about how well it would be received by an audience, so I parked it. I am an attorney, so I am quite a busy human. And in a conversation with a really good friend of mine, I said, I'd actually like to be remembered as an author. And she says, well, you've got this book. I mean, go ahead and publish it. What are you waiting for? And I think it is all about taking risks. It is all about writing from what you know and writing from a place of passion, writing for purpose and with purpose. Not everything's going to be penned in the first attempt in a beautiful way, but I do think that if it does come from the heart, you will be able to touch lives, and that's why we have the rather rigorous editing processes. So just take a stab at it. We do need more women in particular to put their stories out there.
Absolutely, that was very powerfully shared, and thank you so much for sharing that. I want to talk about the aspect of family. It becomes a very crucial part of the novel, and of course, the family dynamics within the novel also become a huge part of the journey of the couple, the huge part of the story as well. Can you talk to us about how does the novel reflect these kind of family dynamics within the novel and within the characters that we see in the novel as well?
I think when we do think of family, we'd often think that it represents security, it's a place of comfort, it's a place of love. But that isn't true in each and every case. And I think it wasn't true in the case of Imtiaz and Salma growing up. And I mean, the reason for this, I would think, is that there are individuals that make up a family. And they come in with their own vices, they come in with their individual psychological makeups, their own motives, which aren't always above board. And it can have detrimental effects, like you would see in this particular book. But what I found so incredibly powerful is that when Imtiaz and Salma went on to have their own family, they really prioritized creating love and support within that environment, in spite of the fragmented backgrounds that they came from. So I do think that family is still quite a powerful institution, and we can assign the correct value to it if we just go about doing it in the right way.
We absolutely can, and I think this speaks volumes of, the kind of relatability a reader can expect when they are opening and reading your novel. I think these kind of family dynamics that you speak about, the kind of relationship the couple has, the struggles, the adversity, and, navigating those challenges and once starting their own family is the kind of story that a reader can relate to and learn a lot from as well. So thank you for being able to share this with us and being able to share with your audiences who are going to have the privilege, of course, of reading the book, to be able to share this with them is absolutely so powerful. But in closing, of course, we cannot leave you or can't leave this conversation without allowing you an opportunity to please tell our viewers and our audience in viewership this evening, where can we actually get a copy of your book and how do we obtain one?
So Mwasa is the official distributor of the book, and there should be notifications going out in a couple of weeks surrounding which stores will be stocking it. And it should be available on their website as well. In the interim, currently, it is available on Amazon Kindle, on Barnes & Noble, and Smashwords. So it is really just a few clicks away for those who want to get a copy.
Now, that is absolutely good news. But Aisha, thank you so much for joining us this evening, for sharing your journey of becoming an author, sharing your journey, your aspirations, and the motivation behind the novel as well as giving us some valuable insight into the very important and critical themes that are explored in the novel. So thank you for sharing the journey with us. I mean, being an author is absolutely no easy feat. So we really commend you on your efforts and, of course, the success of this wonderful novel. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. Have a wonderful evening.
You as well. Viewers at home, that is Aisha Laher, the author of Bamba Butterfly. I hope you enjoyed our conversation today, and I also hope you took away some motivation and inspiration from the wonderful words that Aisha shared in terms of, the motivation and inspiration she had to share with becoming an author, the difficulties she had to face, but also inspiring anyone out there who has a story to tell, to put that pen to paper and tell your story. But if you want to get a copy of Bamba Butterfly, absolutely go and get yourself a copy. These incredible themes are so relatable, and I'm sure us as readers will have a lot to learn from the family dynamics, the adversity, and the challenges that the couple face in the book as well. But on that note, it is time for us to head over to a quick ad break, and we'll come right back.